love it. All sports, double coverage.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. How you going, buddy?
Good, mate. Good. As good as I can be after the absolute putrid performance I had to witness today from the Los Angeles Lakers. It's going to be a long, long season. I've got to watch Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook jack up threes like that. It's going to be a tough season. It's going to long season.
Oh,
I mean, LeBron scored 31. LeBron scored 31. He's got his numbers. So it's second all time most 20-point games, I think, behind only Karl Malone. So
he's doing his thing, mate. He's just LeBron.
Another category will tick by the end of the season.
Yeah, that's what he's stat collecting. We've got NBA on the show, EPL, F1's back this week, NFL, UFC, a big Le Mans.
Big UFC card. Don't worry about that, Dom.
Massive,
UFC 2A
massive
is massive.
UFC. The Le Mans is probably the biggest thing on this show at the moment, based on what's happening. And then hobby talk to finish it off. But we will start with the NBA, Saucy, and it is back, and it's great to have it back. And as the title of the show suggests, Boston bleed green. They were good today. They were very, very good. We went with that title. I had another one in my mind, and I thought maybe I won't send that one to you. I wanted to send to you cheat, skeet. That was literally what I was going to make the title because of Adoka. But I'm like, nah, let's not go down that path and be too much of a Le Mans. So big game from a few plays in this one, Sauce. Let me get the box score up. Whoops.
Harden had 35. Embiid had 26, I believe.
Jaylen Brown and Tatum also had 35 in this Sauce. Tatum had 35 and 12 with 13 of 20, which was unbelievable. And then, sorry, man. It's doing the good old fashioned. What happened to you? I don't know what's going on. My mouse is
in
lagging.
Trouble, ladies and gentlemen. He's in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. I caught a little bit of the game. Philly stayed with him, but then Boston were able to pull away late in the game or in the second half. It was just like I was watching the Philly from last season. So I hope they fix these issues. It was, when the game gets tight, it's ISO ball with Harden, with Embiid. Them two guys just looking to create, and it just doesn't work. There's not enough man movement. There's not enough ball movement. So they really need to fix these issues. I'm going to say it. I feel like if they fail this season, fail to at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals, I don't know. I mean, maybe Doc Rivers could be on the chopping block. I don't know. He's got a lot of talent there. So first game, Philly, the team you picked to win the title, Doma. They got a bit of work to do. But James Harden did look good, and he looked a lot fitter than what he was last season. So that's good signs for Philly.
All right, I'm back on. Can you hear me? I'm all good? Yeah, I don't know. My AirPods were just... You sounded so muffled. It was terrible. I don't know what was going on. So just check it out, mate. Never feel why. He's here to help everyone.
Yeah, mate. You're gonna have to make sure you got the audio selected on the right thing, brother, because I think it's on your AirPods. That's why it was so shit, the audio. Oh, you're making everyone fuzz up. Poor people listen back to this. No good, mate. You're no good. Fix your issues. Fix your issues. All right. Then we had obviously congrats to Boston. They were too good. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out with their coach. They didn't seem to miss him today, so maybe it's just they pick up where they left off from last season. I think they're going to be a major factor. Definitely, probably at least finish in the. I'd see them finishing a top 4-5 seed at least. They should be in that top 5 seeds in the East. Then you had the other game today, the Lakers against the Warriors. The Warriors had their championship unveiling. Fourth banner goes up there for I think fifth banner for them, the Warriors, the franchise, but the fourth banner that the big three has won down there, and they put on a show for their fans in their home opener. Absolutely slapped the Lakers. It was an absolutely terrible performance. It's going to be a long season for Lakers fans, me included. I've got the Black Mamba top on. I'll remember the glory days of Kobe and 2020 when we won the title, and then they decided to Rob Pelinka and the general management up there just decided to blow up the team and get rid of everyone. And there's only AD and LeBron left on the team from that championship team, which is back in 2020, which is pretty crazy. So the franchise is a rabble. The Lakers stink. The Warriors are going to be very good this season. They could potentially win 60 games. Jordan Poole coming off the bench is absolute nightmare. And I feel like his ball handling has got better. I've seen some of the moves he was doing today and some of the passes. He's got that very, those very nifty and nifty passes, around the corners, right behind the backs, and off the dribble. So I feel like he's improved that part of his game. So I think they're going to be very good, the Warriors. And yeah, Dom, are you back?
I'm back. Everything's all good. I don't know. It just glitched on the AirPods. Now you sound perfect. Before it was fuzzy. It was just on my end, or was it the same with?
No, you were horrendous. Your audio. I was about to tell you your audio was horrendous. All right,
it's good that you fixed that up. It was set to the mic, so I don't know what the hell was going on. To be honest,
right. You're much better.
Anyway, apologies to people listening and viewing later on.
Any comments on the game you caught?
Harden looked really, really good. Really, really good. But like you said, they're a bit stagnant. They're running everything through ISO ball, whether it is ISO with Maxey, Harden, and Embiid. They have to become more cohesive as a unit. I still think they're going to be very good. They stuck with Boston for pretty much for most of this game, but Boston looked good. Their defense kept them in it. If they can get Time Lord back, they'll be just as good as what they were last season. Brogdon is a great pickup. Spewing that, obviously, they haven't got Gallinari for that one. And then in the other game, before I throw it to you so you can bag your team if you haven't already, Golden State looked amazing. Curry is just Curry. He just keeps going. They've actually got a Klay Thompson on minutes restriction still. Like, they don't want to play him as much. Great pickups. Dante DiVincenzo, fantastic pickup for Golden State. Young vibes. The difference between this team and the Dynasty team that won 3 titles, they had an old bench, and those series when they played LeBron, when the Cavs beat them, they had an old vet bench. This time around, they got Jermichael Green is the vet, but Poole's coming off the bench. DiVincenzo is off the bench. Wiseman's off the bench. Kevon Looney's off the bench. Kuminga's off the bench. Moses Moody's off the bench. And those 6 are all young guys. Then in their starting core, Andrew Wiggins, who we know how good he is. They look really good. They could easily repeat. And then on the other side of the court, when you got guys like Matt Ryan, who I thought was the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, is out there shooting threes for the Lakers.
Give him some credit. He lit it up in preseason, earned himself a contract. He's the best 3-point shooter on the team, mate. He's the best 3-point shooter on the team.
You've got it's just LeBron and Davis look really, really good. He did. LeBron's just LeBron, isn't he? He's just so good. I don't know what he was doing at one stage. He was just jacking up threes for fun. He was 0 of 6 at one stage, and he ended up 3 of 10. So he shot 3 of 4 from 3 in the second half, it looks like. But your team is putrid, Sauce. Wendell Gabriel actually looked okay. He tried to give it his best, but guys like Gabriel and Swider and Pippen Jr. and Ryan, Christie, these guys are doing nothing for you, to be honest. Austin Reeves looks a good player. He does what he has to do on both sides of the ball, but you got no chance. If you can, honestly,
Tell
if you
me
get rid
something
of
I don't know,
Westbrook,
Doma. Tell me something I don't know.
But
We
even if you get
are rubbish, mate. We are rubbish. We have no outside shooting. It makes it so difficult. You come up against other teams that are shooting up threes, and the old saying, the number threes outweighs the number two. And when you're trading three buckets for 2 buckets, two's on the other end, it's never going to work out well. And when we struggle from deep, you just can't win because the teams pack the paint on us and they dare Russell Westbrook to shoot. I mean, the crowd, now it's that bad with that guy that the crowd are telling him shoot every time he gets the ball from 3, literally, and they're leaving him 1.5 meters, 2 meters open. Like they want him to take that 3. And he took a few of them today. He took like 3 that, he was dared to shoot, and he did, and didn't hit anything. I mean, one of them, he airballed it. Yeah, he hit 1. I know he hit 1, but he airballed 1 as well. So,
but Richard Jefferson said it on the broadcast source. He goes, "I let a 29% 3-point shooter shoot the ball every day of the week." And he goes, "If I was Westbrook, I wouldn't be taking that shot." That's exactly what he said. Source, exactly what he said. Richard Jefferson, who's played, mate, because he's got self-awareness.
It's what he did last season. It's what he's done his whole career. It's what he's going to continue to keep doing because he's Russell hard-headed Westbrook. That's what he is, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys are terrible. And if you do shop Westbrook for that Buddy Hield, Miles Turner deal, that is not helping you in the slightest. How another big is going to work with Anthony Davis? I know, you get a shooter in Buddy Hield, but shit. Is Buddy Hield and Turner like
our best lineup today looked like AD at the 5, LeBron playing, the 4, and then we had Kendrick Nunn, Lonnie Walker, and I'm trying to think who was the other guy that was playing. I'm trying to think.
Austin Reeves.
It might have been Beverly. It was like a real small ball lineup, and we were running and gunning down the court, getting fast breaks. That was like one of our best lineups when we put it out there. But mate, we're no good. We're no good. Lakers fans, it's gonna be a long season. I don't know.
It's literally a waste of time, mate. Anyway, the game's coming up tomorrow. I'm not going to go through all the games till next week because there's plenty of them. We'll just cover tomorrow's games. Detroit, Orlando. That's a ring-a-ding-ding, that one. I know that we're really riveted to watch that one, as well as Indiana versus Washington. That's two toilet bowls in a row, followed by Atlanta versus Houston Rockets, which is shit as well. And then this is the one that I'm going to do the split screen on the League Pass source with the Heat versus the Bulls. But it's the Nets versus the Pelicans. Obviously, watch Ben Simmons. Watch your boy Zion. That's who we want to tune in.
They got the split screen feature on there, do they?
Yeah, I think you can have up to like 4 games running.
Oh, jeez. Unreal.
Yeah, you'd be all over that, man.
I'll be all over that. Don't you worry about that. Hey, I'm not. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'm not happy. I'm about to write an email to Optus Sport, mate. I'm not happy with their coverage. You can't have more than 2 games running at any one time, which is absolute bullshit. The other night I wanted to watch, 4 midnight games. I wanted to have all 4 games up on my screens here.
Yeah, but I was too busy watching United.
No, well, it didn't. It doesn't matter, Dom. Even if you are,
I know. That's why it should be devices running at once. That's what it should be. You should be able to watch as many games on your one device, and the other person, who was me watching it, should be able to watch as many games as he wants to watch or she wants to watch at the same time,
or at least up to 4. I ask. You should be able to split your screen 4 ways and watch up to 4 games. That's the minimum requirement. Or else, what's the whole point of having this streaming service if you can't execute these things? KO, as I said, no, this is no promo, but KO has it on point the way that they've got it all set up.
Definitely. Then we got your boys, Memphis versus your second team, Memphis versus New York, Toronto versus Cleveland, Minnesota versus Oklahoma, Spurs versus Charlotte, Utah versus Denver, Sacramento Trailblazers, and the nice juicy one, starting at 1 p.m. tomorrow, Australian time. Phoenix Suns versus Luka the Don. The replay of the Game 7. Luka the Don is just
They're gonna want
licking his
revenge.
lips. Here we go. So that's a big juicy one. The rest of the matchups, barring a few of them, are absolutely horrific. Some shit games. The Toronto
Bulls
Cleveland
versus
game,
the
I
Heat
think,
is not bad.
Yeah, that's good. Nah, but I'm saying like Utah, Denver, rubbish. Sacramento, Portland. Who wants to watch that? San Antonio versus
Jeez, I tell you
Charlotte.
what, the bookies have only got the line at 8 points there. Jeez, I think Utah's going to be a lot worse than that. The Nuggets could win by 15 plus tomorrow.
Gamble responsibly.
Game responsibility.
Got to put that out there. Yeah, so that's upcoming games for tomorrow. So get straight into it. NBA is back, and it's something to look forward to. And by this time next week, there'll be some more stories that we're going to have to cover in the NBA. Something will have arisen. Here we go. Global Harden does look sharp. Yes. We are well. Hope you're well. Yeah, Adam, I had an absolute mare at the beginning of this one. Absolutely shit.
I'm just reading Hayden's comment down the bottom. The only guarantees you've got. There you go.
Death taxes and New York Knicks giving fans hope. Don't go watch the preseason, the season preview then that we had during the week. You don't want to know what we said about the Knicks. We said they're going to win less than 39.5 games. So, yeah, we're not too confident on the Knickerbockers. And for all our predictions going into the season, definitely tune into the podcast that is now available on all podcasting platforms and on YouTube. We did a season preview with the over-unders, and I'll drop a couple things anyway on the socials. Worked out, well, mocked up a few things also. I'll post this show.
The wizard.
The wizard.
He's been
anyway.
at work. Jeff Farmer, mate. The wizard.
Yeah, the wizard. Yeah, Farmer. Yeah. EPL, let's move on, Saucy. There was games this morning. Palace defeated Wolves 2-1. And Brighton.
Cracking game, mate. Cracking game. Watched it. Absolutely cracking game. Yeah,
okay,
watched it.
Nice.
Wolves versus Palace. Wolves were right on top in the first half. Traore scores with a header, and then second half they went into the sheds. Vieira had a bit of a tactical change, came out in the second half, and Palace just bossed them. And looked, took command on their home deck and got the win. In the other game, Brighton should have won. They missed a host of chances and ended 0-0, which was
Brighton's struggling
well done.
since Harry Potter's dad Graham left that team to go to Chelsea. They lost to Brentford as well midweek too.
Yeah.
So the games leading into the games this morning were Brentford defeated Brighton 2-0. Palace and Leicester drew 0-0. Wolves defeated Nottingham 1-0. Fulham and Bournemouth drew 2-2. Tottenham defeated Everton 2-0. Southampton and West Ham drew 1-1. United and Newcastle drew 0-0. Arsenal defeated Leeds 1-0. Chelsea defeated Villa 2-0. And Liverpool upset the juggernaut in Man City 1-0. And gave a nice present to Arsenal fans all around the planet. 4 points on top now, aren't you? Clear.
On the day where we were saved by VAR,
I know.
Given a penalty against us right as the last bit of the game, then it was a red card by the ref to Gabriel. Then
he was about to get Le Mans of the week too.
He was. And then they've gone and reviewed it on VAR, and they've rescinded the red card, rescinded the penalty, and it was just pandemonium, mate. I'm feeling a spark in the air when shit like that is happening to you during the season. Maybe we have a sniff this season. When we're getting luck like that,
I know.
Maybe we have a sniff.
As they say, you need luck to win.
The lid, I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the lid is shut from me. The lid is it's not even ajar, all right? It's not even ajar. The lid's shut. But I'm just saying, when you're getting luck like that with the VAR, and then Super Mo Salah goes in and pulls an absolute cracking finish. The ball by Allison and the finish by Salah was unbelievable. That first touch was just clean. The way he turned our boy João Cancelo, he got turned like the cake mix does in the mixer, mate. It's just, and he was straight batter, was Mr. Cancelo. And on his bike, Mo Salah finished it and put out my boys, Arsenal, 4 points clear, atop of the table, and I'm pumped on it. And just hope we can keep going and go into the World Cup break. You know, it'll be good to go in there. If we're 7 points ahead, potentially going to the World Cup break, I'll be excited.
That'd be good. It'd be absolutely fantastic. And good on you. Your team's playing great football. They did struggle in that one, though. But, you know, like you said, you need a bit of luck. You need luck. We also struggled in our game against Newcastle, got a 0-0 draw. But the same thing for us. We had a whole bunch of luck. Joe Linton hit the post twice. Mate, we got a lot of luck. All right. So our luck is for a different thing, Source, not to win the title, but to make Champions League. That is what our luck is at the moment. It's keeping us afloat.
I thought Palace, because obviously, Dom, I watched the start of that game because in the Arsenal game, there was issues with the refs' microphone. So the game got postponed for 40 minutes. So I was watching that game and I was like, how is Newcastle not scored in this first half? They're all over you. But you ended up hanging on for a point, which is not what you want to see. You should be taking 3 points there at home.
Oh, no. Yeah, yes and no. Newcastle's actually very good. They put three past City, Source. Like, they're not a terrible team. If they have same maximum playing that game, they probably beat us. So he was out. But at the same time, if we had Christian Eriksen, we probably would have won the game. So
you just lacked a bit of class in midfield.
Yeah, well, you got Alfredo there instead of Eriksen. How do you expect to win the game? Like, yeah. Anyway, Ronaldo disgruntled still, as per usual.
Wasn't happy about getting subbed off. And you know what? I'm going to have to agree. I'm going to have to agree with him because, you know, you're there at home. You're Manchester United. You need to go win that game. You should have been bringing on Rashford along with Ronaldo. Played the two.
Yeah, well, Rashford should have come on for Sancho because Anthony was doing whatever he was doing. He's just a gun. But he should have. Ronaldo plays really well with Rashford when Rashford plays on the wing. So it could have worked. And we were bombarding Newcastle at the end of the game. The last 20 minutes was all us and Ronaldo sitting on the bench.
After cross. And when you need Ronaldo to get up there and put one in there, I don't know. I didn't agree with the decision. And it's not like he had a bad game up until that point.
No, he's playing right. He's actually been very good. He's been very good. It's just, well, he's been good. I won't say very good. Very good is him kicking goals consistently, but he's been good. So he play makes. It's not like he's terrible. It's just they don't give him the ball. As you messaged me 4 million times.
There was a few
open
times
every time.
There's a few times in that game where they got into good positions. Anthony into one position, and I can't remember who was the other guy. Someone else.
Sancho didn't give him the ball.
Sancho, and all they had to do was cut it back to him, and he literally made the run, perfectly timed it, and skipped in front of the defender on the front post, and they just had to put it across to him, and he wished to flicked it in. It would have been easy tap in, and they both went for shots, and the keeper parried both of their shots. So I don't know. You can blame Ronaldo to a point, but in those situations, like in the Anthony situation, he had two guys on him plus the keeper, and at a tough angle, he should have been squaring the ball. Yeah.
Anyway, like I'll put it out there. United, if you want to fly me over there, I'm keen to do a formal inquest into the club because I think there's too many Lionel Messi fans playing for our football club. Not enough Ronaldo lovers because they're not giving him the ball deliberately. They don't want his stats to go higher on the goal tally.
These conspiracy theorists.
Let's get to this week's games. There's 2 rounds being played, obviously, because of the World Cup. So there's a fair bit of football on Source all the way through to the 25th, which is
25th. It's just footy galore.
Next Wednesday?
Oh, there's games on tomorrow morning,
Monday. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we've got Bournemouth, this is tomorrow morning. Bournemouth, Southampton. Unfortunately, the Arsenal City game has been postponed. All right, which is a spew.
That's because Arsenal's got to play in Europa League.
Yeah. We've got Chelsea, Brentford, Liverpool, West Ham, Newcastle, Everton, Man United, Tottenham. Then on Friday, we have Fulham, Aston Villa, Leicester, Leeds, Saturday, we have Nottingham, Liverpool, Everton, Palace, City, Brighton. Oh, no, sorry. Nottingham, Liverpool. Sunday morning, we have Everton, Palace, City, Brighton, Chelsea, United. So United have to back up Tottenham with Chelsea. Villa, Brentford, Leeds, Fulham, Southampton, Arsenal, Wolves, Leicester, Tottenham, Newcastle, which is another ripping game, and West Ham, Bournemouth.
Vamos, I'm pumped up. I'm pumped
There's
up.
a
I'll be
lot
up
of
tomorrow
football
morning watching. I'll be watching those games, mate. I'll be watching some.
And
games
before
tomorrow morning,
before we
no doubt.
do finish off the soccer segment for tonight, Source, there is one man. He is your boy, and he won the Ballon d'Or yesterday. It is Karim Benzema. How happy are you
I have some
that he
Benzema
got what he
cards.
rightfully deserved, Source?
He
He
did.
was the
He
best
did.
player. He was instrumental in winning that Champions League. He's instrumental in that Real Madrid side. He kicked goals for fun last season. How happy are you, mate? It's Benzema. It's your boy.
I mean, it's good. It's good
Golden
to
glove,
see.
mate.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see. A different winner outside Messi and Ronaldo. I mean, even though that there has been with Modric and a few, but it's been dominated by them for a lot of the time. Benzema probably didn't get as much credit when Ronaldo was playing alongside him. Fair enough, Ronaldo was dominating, but when you do play Benzema in his preferred position, which is number 9 up top, he's shown what a beast he can be, and I think he's going to be vital to France's chance if they are going to be able to win the World Cup. He's going to have a big tournament along with Mbappe. Them two are going to have to work together, very well if they're to have a chance. But
congratulations,
and I mean, hopefully can add some other Benzema cards to the collection. He's got he's got one up on Project 2022 this week, so we'll have a look at that in a bit later. But
and Gavi won best young player in the world, and rightfully so. He's been very good.
Pedri won something too, didn't he?
I can't remember. I'm not sure.
I think he won some sort of award as well.
Mbappe got the most hated player at the event. He got booed when he walked in. I don't know if you caught that, Source.
No,
he got booed. Yeah, he got booed. Yep.
Wow.
So he got the most hated, and I don't want to turn into controversy because this is Benzema's award, and it's not about this year's Ballon d'Or. It's about the Ballon d'Or before, where Lewandowski did exactly what Benzema did, identical, kicked goals for fun, and he got overlooked. And I'm not saying this because Messi is the one that won the Ballon d'Or, Source, all right? Because we spoke about it on this show. Whether it was Messi or it was Ronaldo or whoever it was that won it, we said that Lewandowski should have got it. Now, the French football, it's pretty disappointing at the fact that you acknowledge Lewandowski as the best striker in the world, and that was you gave him a trophy at the Ballon d'Or night, and then you give Messi the award, and everyone's sitting there going like, we know that Lewandowski should have won it. To then go forward 12 months, Source, and a guy that's pretty much done exactly the same thing as what Lewandowski done the season before, wins the Ballon d'Or. So it's, in terms of like for French football, it's embarrassing. You got egg on your face, if you ask me. It's actually a disgrace. As much as I can then sit there now and say that's enough evidence for me to say I can take away another Ballon d'Or from Messi, then it's fine. But I'm not going to do that regardless. If it was Ronaldo that won it, I would have said the same thing because we came on this show for months when we found out that the Ballon d'Or wasn't going to happen, and instead they were going to release the the best football team of all time. And then after they're like, oh no, we're going to consider it, and they gave it to Lewandowski, to Messi. It was like, well, it's a bit of a letdown for a guy that had such a fantastic season. It was a disgrace. It actually is. And it will forever go down in football as a disgrace. As much a disgrace as Wesley Sneijder getting snubbed over Messi again. It happens to just be Messi that always happens to receive the award. But the guy won the treble.
He won
the treble, and he dominated.
And there was 2010 and made the final.
Yeah, and he made the final in the World Cup. Disgraceful. So, Anyway, that means he's got 5, the same as Ronaldo, if we take away those two sources. And Ronaldo should have got it over the year Modric won it because he was by far the better player. But besides the point, we won't get into that. I digress. Let's move on.
I want Luka to keep
Yeah, that's okay. You like Luka. I like Luka Modric too. But go have a look at the seasons, and you'll be saying that our Goto Del Mondo should have another one. All right, let's move on. This week's F1 Grand Prix. It's a bit lackluster sauce, would you say now? Because we know we have
Season's
a world
over.
champion. So it's like,
over.
it's just good to see Max stat pad. He's pretty much going to be a LeBron in these last 4 races, just padding his stats. It's the United States Grand Prix. We're going to be a bit sketchy for off the grid because it's on Monday and it's at 6 a.m. source.
Monday morning.
And I won't be working from home on Monday. I can assure you that much. Monday morning, 6 a.m. I'll probably watch the first half of the race and then done and dusted.
I'll
6 a.m.
I'll probably be up. Because I'll probably get up and watch a few bit of NFL or something. But I don't think there'll be a stream this week. It's tough time Monday morning work. So
if it was this Monday that passed, then would have been all over it. But it is the Circuit of Americas in Texas, that one. So tune in and we'll cover it. Danny Rick got offered a seat at Haas from Gunther Steiner source. I don't know if you saw that. He said he'd happily take him. Obviously, Magnussen will get the flick. I don't know. I'm just saying that's what his offer has been.
Well, he has been driving good in the last few races. He's been doing very well.
And Danny Rick, to quote him, during the week said, if you give me a good fucking car, I'll show you how to win races. That's what he actually said. Well, winning car. He goes, if you give me a fucking winning car, I'll show you how to win races. Saying, if you put me in the Red Bull, I'd win every week. Or at least compete to win every week. Which I don't disagree with that. If it was in Leclerc's car or even Sainz's car or in Perez's car, he would have. But unfortunately, Danny, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. You could have still been sitting in that seat at Red Bull if you didn't want to take your talents to Renault and then to McLaren. So anyway. Hindsight's a beautiful thing, isn't it, Sauce?
Spoken about it before.
Hindsight is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. All right, let's move on to the NFL source. I know you've been watching a lot of American football. You've been watching a lot of stuff recently. So I'm going to read out some of these results, and you're going to give me some feedback if you watched it or not. So it started with Chicago versus Washington, which was a stinker. It was 12-7 win for Washington in that one. We had the Pittsburgh Steelers defeating Tampa Bay 20-18. Did you catch this?
No, I didn't catch any of the game, but that's a surprising result. I'm not going to lie.
It is.
I mean, yeah, definitely surprising result. So, a bit of a step back for the Bucs, but I don't think that influences them winning their division.
Giants defeated the Ravens 24-20.
People in New York are up and about their teams. The Jets are doing well. The Giants are doing well. They are up and about, Doma, and look, as they should be. Good result by the Giants. That's a loss from the Ravens. I mean, I understand you are going on the road, but you'd expect them to do better. I mean, good win by the Giants. Not gonna lie, very good win.
Then we had the Dolphins losing to Minnesota, 24-16.
Like that.
Yeah, get him up. Got to get him up, Kirky. Give him some airtime. You're going to tell me if it's come up. Don't tell me he's gone.
You like that?
No.
You like that?
The great man, good on him. Good win there. Cincinnati defeated the Saints 30-26. Joey B. The Colts defeated the Jags 34-27, stringing along a couple wins.
Yep. So
New
that's
York
one each in the division. Obviously, the Jags pants this last time, 27-0. So good to get that win back. 2 on the top for the Colts.
This is a nice one. Jets defeated the Packers 27-10. Source.
I watched this game because oh no, sorry. Got this mixed up with last week's game. No, I didn't watch it. But that's an absolute disgrace. That's at Packers as well.
I know, it's at
That's
Lambeau.
That's at Lambeau. So that is an absolute disgrace by the Packers. I don't know.
Gary
Are
V's
they
loving
in
life
danger
with
of
his
losing
receipts.
out in their division? Could they potentially lose their division, Doma?
Well, they could because Vikings are in their division and
Yes,
they're better than the Packers,
they're
except for
playing
Monday
very
night.
well.
They're not
Except when
playing
they
on a
play
Monday.
prime time.
Yeah, on a Monday.
Well, all I know is the Vikings are into $1.33 and the Packers are out to $3.40.
Yeah,
to win the
well,
division.
Vikings have got the better team. It's just they're no good on the Monday night games, as we mentioned. New England defeated the Browns 38-15. Atlanta defeated San Francisco 28-14. The Cardinals lost to the Seahawks 19-9. The Rams defeated Carolina 24-10. The Bills defeated Kansas City 24-20 in what was a ripping game. I don't know if you saw, I shared it on our socials, but that run by Josh Allen, where he leaps over the defensive lineman, was unbelievable. And that wasn't at the start of the game. That was in the thick of it to help his
Last 2
team,
minutes.
to secure the victory. It was unreal. Philadelphia defeated the Cowboys 26-17. Expect to see Dak back in the lineup this week. And then the Chargers with Justin Herbert beat the Denver Broncos in overtime 19-16. And Russell Wilson is having an absolute nightmare start to the NFL season. Some of the standings.
Struggling immensely. I think they're not really using him to his best ability, enabling him to flourish. I think there needs to be some changes on that offense, but the defense is keeping him in games, and if they can piece it together, they will be dangerous. But I mean, 6 games in that offense, they've only scored 6 touchdowns. 6 games in, so
I'll show you. So here's some of the
on average.
Here's some of the divisions at the moment, how it sits. AFC East, all of a sudden, the Dolphins are lucky last in that one. They're 3-3, the same as New England. AFC North, Bengals back on top there. Colts are equal with Tennessee, which is good. You're back on level pegging there, Source. Kansas City on top of this one with the Chargers. Philly and New York. I think that one's pretty much wrapped up. Dallas will miss out on playoffs. New York's playing really, really well. Barkley's dominating. And Philly are just playing fantastic football. Then we've got Minnesota up there. Green Bay, they might be able to sneak in because the Bears and the Lions are shithouse. So Tampa Bay and Atlanta on top of NFC South. And then the 49ers on top with the Seattle Seahawks, Source, which we didn't see coming at 3-3, with the Rams, who are also 3-3. This is a very competitive division, the NFC West. With
Tough division, yeah.
So very interesting to see.
I feel like the
what is happening.
49ers are stronger now with Jimmy G than they were.
100% they are. Yeah, well, they were always going to be. This week's game, Source, we've got Cardinals, Saints, Ravens, Browns, Panthers, Bucks, Bengals, Falcons, Cowboys, Lions, Jags, Giants, Titans, Colts. So must-win game for your Colts. Commanders, Packers, Broncos, Jets, Raiders, Texans, Chargers, Seahawks, 49ers versus Kansas City. That's going to be a ripper. Dolphins, Steelers, and the Patriots versus the Bears to finish off this week's games. Hopefully Tua's back, Source, this week. It would be nice. All right, over to you for some UFC.
UFC, I'll get up the card, Donna. 280 this weekend. It's going to be an absolute belter. I'll read through the main card. I'll give you my predictions. You got start off the women flyweight. You got Caitlin Chukagian against Manon Fiorot. I don't really know too much about either fighter. I'm just going to go with Caitlin Chook again. I'm not even sure why. Lightweight, you got Benil Dariush against Memitsu Gamrot. This will be an absolute cracker. This is the start of, what is 4 absolutely cracking fights. I'm leaning Gamrot in this fight. I like the way he fought in his last bout. Dariush is also a beast, but I'm leaning to Gamrot. He's only had one professional loss in his career, 21-1. So Gamrot to get the win over Dariush in the lightweight division. Then you got a bantamweight. Peter Yan is up against Sugar Sean O'Malley. Mr. Dabman himself. He's fighting up against Peter Yan. This is going to be a good fight, Doma. And
This is gonna be good.
Usually I don't even blink an eye and I say Sugar Sean, but I can't say that against Peter Yan. Peter Yan, he's a good fighter. He has pretty good grappling. I don't know how well Sean O'Malley is going to go if Peter Yan is able to take him to the ground, because I haven't really seen Sean put in that position too much. But I'm gonna just stick with Sugar Sean. I'm going to say he has the length on him and he has the striking ability. And if he's able to piece it together and avoid those takedowns that Peter Yan might throw at him, I feel like Sean will outstrike him and get the win. So I'm going to go with Sean O'Malley. Probably, I don't think he's going to get a finish because Peter Yan's one tough guy. So I think he'll win on points. And then you got the co-main event, Aljamain Sterling with a title defense in the bantamweight division against TJ Dillashaw. I'm going to go the champ, Aljamain. Just a side note, did see like his, I think it was his one of his select autos, like a base version, only go for $7.50. Pretty crazy that a champion in the UFC's auto is going for $7.50. So it's some bargains to be found if you want to pick up some cheap champs from the UFC in collectibles. But I'm going to lean Aljamain. I think this one, once again, there could be a finish in this. I feel like Aljamain might get him with a submission. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. So I'm going to get Aljamain to finish it with a submission. And then Charles Oliveira against Islam Makichev. This is going to be an absolute cracker. Obviously, we know Oliveira, the champ, is an absolute beast. Makichev, is 22-1 professionally in MMA. I'm just gonna lean Oliveira. I'm gonna lean Oliveira just because of what I've seen of him. Over the last few fights, I feel like he's improved immensely. And I'm not sure. Makichev does have a good ground game, but Oliveira might be that next level. So I'm just gonna lean.
I heard something.
Lean Charles.
I heard something interesting. Source Joe Rogan was talking about it because obviously he's in the fight game massively, and he was talking about this Oliveira versus Makichev matchup, and he said the exact same thing as you. Like Oliveira seems to be getting better, and he said that the turning point was actually when he had his daughter, Oliveira. It gave him a sense of purpose. So it's like, he pretty much goes out there to win. And the way he thinks about it, like mentally, like he hasn't said this, but the way I think of it, I don't have kids, but he probably thinks like, I will die in this ring if it means winning for my kid, to provide for my kid. You know what I mean? That's the way he does it now. He's got better because he never wants to lose. He's got something to fight for. So it's not the walk in the park. People thought Makichev, because he's been very good, he could come and
he's a good fighter.
This is
going to be a good. This is going to be a good
This
fight.
is going to be a ripper.
But I feel like
Oliveira's good on the ground.
Yeah, I feel like Makichev hasn't been tested with this level of competition yet. So
Makichev's got that smothering like Nurmagomedov had. Khabib, smothers people on the floor with his grappling. But the problem is you can't do that Oliveira because he's very, very good with the submissions.
Well,
his
So Makichev, his last fight was a KO against Bobby Green. That was back in February. And then his 3 fights before that was a submission finish over Dan Hooker, a submission finish over Thiago Moises, and a submission finish over Drew Dobber. All 3 of those guys, I wouldn't even rate them highly in terms of in being in that lightweight division. The middle of the tier, middle of the pack guys. This is definitely his biggest test, obviously. And, where he is so dominant at going to the ground, I feel like he can't do that against Oliveira. So he's going to have to rely on his striking, and Oliveira has shown that he's elusive and he can take a punch. And he's got this tactic that when he takes a punch, he lands to his back and he invites the grapple. Now, will Makichev, when he drops to his back and puts his legs in the air and sort of invites the grapple, will he go to the ground and take the grapple, or will he tell him to get up? So it'll be an interesting mind game how that all plays out. But I'm going to lean Oliveira, and I'm going to say it goes the distance and Oliveira wins on points.
Big.
That rounds
Very
it up,
big.
Doma. That rounds up the card. And then I think there is another card the following week. Yeah. So it's full. It's back. UFC 280 this weekend. The main card kicks off from 5 a.m. 5 a.m. Sunday morning. The prelims, I think, kick off from 3 a.m., 1 a.m. Geez, I tell you what, if you're pulling an all-nighter, it's a good night to do it. You probably can watch the world game, football.
Well, United's at 3:30.
There you go.
So I might just back it in, Source, potentially, because it's a big card. I actually might tune into this one.
It is a cracking card. Definitely will be an absolute ripper. And then, I mean, if you do want to just get up for the main fight, I'll tell you, the main fight will probably be on around 7 a.m. Australian time. So, get up around 6:30, 6:45. Maybe get the pay-per-view, wink, wink, or also find it on the realms of the internet, wink, wink, and watch yourself some UFC 280.
Very nice. All right, Source. It is time for the Le Mans of the week, and I'm not jumping into any politics here, Source. I know you're not either, because you saw something come up. I've seen something come up. Then we both saw something come up together when we were reading this article that we weren't aware of the first 2 stories, and this was Le Mans worthy, and it definitely deserves a Le Mans. Now, the world is very polarizing at the moment, Source, as you know. All right, we had a COVID pandemic, which divided the planet. We've had so many other things. We've got wars happening around the world. But the one thing we've always said on this show, and as much as people say that we may be wrong, I completely disagree, because you obviously don't actually know what the average male, because predominantly is male that go to like sporting events. That's statistically fact, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but males in particular, I'm going to speak on behalf of males because I am one. Saucy, we don't go to sport to have political agendas shoved down our throats. All right? That is the one thing. All right? We're very accepting of athletes can have whatever views they want. You can have any religion. You can be Islamic, Catholic, whatever it is. That's fine. People have their own views. That's sport. It is a combination of different people with races, creeds, beliefs, and they all come together to play this beautiful thing that we call sport, and we can go out there and enjoy it, and it is a relief for people, Source, they work very hard during the week, and, they want to, their 9-to-5 job, they get home, they sit in front of the television, sometimes they watch the news. The news has, for every 5 negative stories, there's 1 positive story. So, they're getting beat down by all the bullshit that's getting shoved down their throat during the week. They go, you know what, footy or soccer or basketball. I'm going to go there. This is my decompressed time. I might bring my son, my daughter. I might go myself, go with some mates, have a couple beers, have a pie at the footy, and just sit back and relax. You don't want the bullshit from your life, filtering it into sport. But the movement with people these days, Source, and whether it's government or people from small groups trying to push certain agendas, they see an opening. As someone that's into marketing does when it comes to advertising, when you see an opening, you push on the opening as hard as you can, because then you get more eyes on the thing that you're trying to get out there in society. Now, Source, the interesting one this time around, because as we said, we moved from COVID, and I can't say the word because you get reported on YouTube and get shut down, but I'll do the action. This thing divided a lot of people. That thing divided a lot of people. Now, the new thing, because nobody cares about COVID anymore, doesn't exist anymore. No one cares. Let's be honest, no one does. The new thing is climate change. This is the whole big thing. No one cared, not cared. No one spoke about it really during the pandemic. There's no cars on the road. We spoke about it pre-pandemic. It wasn't as big and pushed as hard as what it is now. You know, we're trying to get more. Mercedes is no longer making petrol-fueled cars from 2030.
2030.
I'm not sure of it. Yeah, there you go. You are aware of it. You know, so a lot of things are changing, Source. A lot of things. And the other thing that is changing is sponsorship. The people that pay the bills for these football clubs and help invest their money. And I understand they've used their company as a platform to be seen around the world and in society. This one here is the Fremantle Dockers, Source. This is the culmination of a few entities, all right? Predominantly the Fremantle Dockers, all right? They're calling the club to end the Woodside sponsorship deal. All right, so a group of high-profile Fremantle Dockers members have joined the demands to end fossil fuel sponsorship of sporting clubs, calling on their team to cut its ties with oil and gas giant Woodside. So the group includes these people. I'm not going to give them 5 seconds of airtime. This is an image of them. If you know who they are, well, good luck to you. In a letter to the Dockers board, the group outlined its concerns about climate change, particularly in light of the company's decision to press ahead with its Scarborough gas development, which it claims is the largest fossil fuel project to be built in Australia in a decade. Okay. Despite claims it trying to decarbonise, Woodside has doubled down on fossil fuels in the last year, purchasing BHP's oil and gas assets and becoming one of the top 10 largest fossil fuel companies in the world. All right, so trying to decarbonise. I'll explain a lot of this stuff to people that might think I don't know what I'm talking about, or what Saucy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'll give you a few little tidbits when we get to giving the Le Mans. It comes the same week as members of the Australian national women's netball team announced they would not wear uniforms featuring logos from their sponsor, mining giant Hancock Prospecting. And yesterday, when was this article written? 7 hours ago. So yesterday, this was news to the great man Source and I. Australian men's cricket captain Pat Cummins said he will not appear in advertisements for Alinta Energy, a major sponsor of Cricket Australia. Cummins, who is part of the Cricket for Climate group, has been outspoken in his support for action to combat climate change. So there's a whole bunch of things here. This is the Woodborough one. I'm trying to see if we've got the actual number. There's actually no number on the sponsorship for the Woodside one. I know that the Hancock one, Source you mentioned, was $15 million.
Yep,
the sponsorship
$15 million for the Australian netball team. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what world these athletes are living in, but, you know, there's not, you know, in the sense of the netball situation, there's not too many, you know, companies that are willing to throw $15 million behind netball. And you should probably just, you know, take the money. I understand, you know, there are a lot of things in this world that aren't ethical. But the reality is you want your sport to be around for younger generations, and then that investment's going to help the sport continue to grow and get better and have a future in the country. And then on the other flip side for you know, like Pat Cummins, it's bizarre. It's bizarre to me. You know, he doesn't want to be involved in the He's part of the climate change, Cricket for Climate. He doesn't want to be involved in the energy company. He wants to take this big stance on energy. You know what they should do? You know what? If he wants to have a big stance, he should go to Cricket Australia and say, Cricket Australia, we do too much travel. We don't need to play this many games. I earn enough money. I'll take a pay cut. We'll all take pay cuts so we don't have to play as many games. That way, there's not as many flights. That way, we're saving a lot of fossil fuels. And that way, we're helping save the environment. Do you think he would do that, Domo? If he said, no, we'll play less games, which means less money.
Not when the IPL.
right?
How much was his IPL contract for the Indian Premier League he got offered that time? And he flew straight over to India to take that big fucking whopping contract in a heartbeat.
I'll tell you right now. It's. I think these. I'm trying to work it out here. It's
But this is the thing, Source. Like you say to these
1.82
people,
million.
There you go.
1.82 million he got.
And that was for like 6 games or something.
Yeah, something ridiculous. Cummins got 1.34 million.
There you go.
Oh no,
Was it okay to
1.82
fly?
million. I was right.
It was
There you
pretty
go.
bad. Like you flew over there, Pat. It's not good. You just got every nation to fly out here for the T20 Cricket World Cup as well. Like you saved the environment there.
I'm not sure if people realize. I'm not sure.
Like the climate change thing, like me personally, I'm all for helping the environment, yeah? But there's a few things first. First, there's a few things that need to be done, all right, on planet Earth before you start pushing this shit down
Elaborate.
our throats.
I was about to
Right.
mention these. But go on. I know what you're going to say.
The first thing and the main factor that has to be done before anyone starts regurgitating all this shit to me and telling me that, oh, you got to buy an electric car. Stop cutting down the Amazon forest and logging it. That's the first thing. All right? That's the first thing. Because history tells us that the Sahara Desert used to be a rainforest source. I don't know if people actually know the history, but that's actually fact. So because of, well, we went through ice ages and stuff like that, there isn't a forest there. So the fact that we've got a forest there that produces oxygen for the world and we've decided, to make money off of it, we should log it. That's mistake number one. Number two, you're telling me to buy all these things and go electric and do all this stuff without the energy company, right? The energy company, how are the circuit boards meant to sustain everybody jumping onto electricity? So do you want to live in a blackout and go into a depression where you have no energy at all to run anything? Have people thought about that? And don't tell me that the modeling source is in place. Don't tell me the modeling's in place, because we were told the modelling was in place for COVID. Modeling's in place when we build freeways, but it takes 5 years. It's delayed 5 years to build a freeway. It's delayed 7 years. So you're going to put everyone onto electricity source, yeah, and get rid of all the fossil fuel, and you might be 5 years delayed. What happens there? Then you're in the lurch for 5 years. What are you meant to do on the planet when you have 5 years of no energy? You're pretty cooked, if you ask me.
It's funny because we're going to have all these electric powered stuff, and it's all going to be powered by fossil fuels. The electricity is going to come from fossil fuels. So,
but it's everything source. They talk so much rubbish.
And
they're
also
happy to get on their high horse.
Sustainable fuel for planes, Dom. I don't mention that one. Don't forget to mention that one.
Yeah, but that one too, source. That's the one that I like. That's a good one because there's so many planes in the sky. But at the same time, it's a worry. Like there's a lot of trial and error that has to be done, source, to put sustainable fuel in a plane, because you don't want planes falling out of the sky when you're testing new fuel on it at the same time. That's the other thing. So
yeah, fair point.
There's so many things that need to be factored into this stuff, source. And the fact that people are just getting on here and saying this company's bad, that company's bad, this is shit, that shit. Oh, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. You should not buy this. You should not buy that. How about leave the people alone? All right, leave them alone. Next time you jump on your Zoom chat or you jump on Facebook to put a nice picture of your family up on there or on Instagram, just think about where those products were made, who made them, and if fossil fuels were used to create the product. Last time I checked, This is what it's made from, Source. Fossil fuels. And you're telling everybody that it's bad. And you're the number one user. These people drive cars? Do they turn on their lights when they come home every night? Do they watch TV? Do they cook? Source, I could go on forever. Man, I could go on forever. Just remember, you got to find an energy source to replace all this stuff, to make it sustainable after. And be able to, like the energy company on their circuits to literally be able to support all this stuff. So don't jump the gun too quickly, ladies and gents. It costs a lot of this to get infrastructure up. That's the other thing too. Keep it out of sport. Let people enjoy what they want to go see. Don't try to force this shit down people's throats. Because I tell you what, when your memberships start getting cut up and they start going down and you start asking why, maybe you got to look in the mirror and think to yourself, it was me. So on that source, to all these mentioned in this segment, you are all
Lemons.
just need to think, Source. People got to
Mate,
think
there's-
about this.
There's clearly just only one way of them thinking, and look, unfortunately, I don't know. We're going down a slippery slope with the whole bringing the whole climate activism stuff within to sport because it's a big political issue, and fuck political issues in sport. That's all I got to say.
Let's just go support our clubs, mate. Drink a few tinnies and have a good time, Source. Create memories. Not make people go to sporting events to get upset. That's the last thing we want because they're seeing all the shit that they're trying to escape from. All right, Source, let's get into it. Hobby Talk brought to you by Platinum Standard Grading. All right, that is Hobby Talk brought to you by Platinum Standard Grading. So thank you to the group there at PSG. First off the bat, Source. I know you want to get into this one. Topps Project 2022. Here it is. Some new cards. There's the Benzema that you're looking forward to by Whip. We got Alexia Putellas by Sanil Chitraka. Inzaghi by Marco Malgrati, Mason Mount by Dai Tamura, and Hyung Min Son by Matt Taylor. So they're the 5 new ones. There is 6 days, 7 hours, and 39 minutes left on those bad boys. So thoughts, Source? I know there's one card that you definitely like.
The Benzie looks good. I like the sign as well. Looks nice. So
Purchasing a couple. I don't mind the mount. The mount looks all right as well.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not too bad. Not bad at all. So there is that. Next one up, Saucy. This dropped today. Bit of impeccable WWE. We love the impeccable when it comes to soccer, and we love the impeccable when it comes to basketball. So we're hoping that this lives up to the same standards. So the hobby boxes of Panini Impeccable WWE contain 9 cards per pack and 1 pack per box. Look for 5 autos and 1 unique insert per box on average. Find on-card autos that feature some of the top superstars and legends in WWE history. Chase unique autographs highlighting a plethora of iconic moments. Find cards sequentially numbered to the superstars' WrestleMania appearances. That's pretty cool. Championships, Hall of Fame inductions, and first major title victory. Look for special inserts printed on medals, as well as inserts that contain either 1 ounce of real silver and half ounce of 14 karat gold, and collect on-card auto memorabilia cards of WWE top superstars. Our only concern, Source, what would it be? If I had to tell you of all the cards and the type of cards in this product, what's your concern once again?
Those little silver and gold bullion things actually not
Yes.
falling out of the card when you open it.
Because that happened again this year in Impeccable. That happened again. But here is some of the, actually, you know what? I'm not even going to bring up the designs on this. I'm going to go straight to Cherry Sauce because they ripped this today. Have a look at this. The
It looks
Hulkster.
nice.
Oh, yeah, bloody oath. Rey Mysterio. They had a few more down here. There's some of the base cards. Sonya Deville auto. Did he have any more? Here we go. Alexa Bliss. Redemption for John Cena they pulled. Hollow gold. Pretty good. Andre the Giant. There's the piece of silver. Michael Hayes. And there's Blakey with Briggs. It was very funny watching the stream today. He had the K mask on, Source. It was very, very funny. But there is, of course, we've got to bring this one up because this might get you to buy a box. Tory Wilson metal auto cards, mate.
Jeez. Classic.
There you go. Trish Stratus as well, mate.
Oh, jeez. What? They're only in the middle?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna have to have a look at the checklist.
You want to have a look? Let's go. That's a G up for you if I've ever seen one. Look at him. He's.
I'm having a look.
Here we go. I got it up here.
Yeah, they're on FeeBay already. There's a few up here.
FeeBay. There you go. Her Hall of Fame year card, 2013. Trish
She's in the Hall of Fame, Trish Stratus. Hey,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, she's in my Hall of Fame.
You're a fucking lemon. Seriously. Who else is in here? Illustrious ink set. Immortal ink set. Here we go. Immortal Cully. Leader. Shawn Michaels is in there. Rikishi. There's actually some very nice cards in here. Impeccable Championship debut autos. Wow. Should definitely be in this set. Hulk Hogan's in there. John Cena. Michelle McCool. Maybe not. There you go. Anyway, nice set. There's heaps of autos on card. Check that out. The other one that is here, Source, is National Treasures Road to the FIFA World Cup. So the hobby box contains 10 cards per pack, 1 pack per box. Look for 8 autos or mem cards, 1 base, and 1 additional card per box. Find a 200 card base set, including 2 subsets, treasured moments and treasured rookies. Look for all the top stars, special highlights, and hot prospects. Each card in the collection is numbered to 99 or less. Look for the parallels sapphire, gold, emerald, and platinum. Chock full of autos and mem. Hunt for the rare triple booklets and multi-auto cards. 1-of-1s like brand logo autos and more. There are 8 memorabilia insert, 8 autograph plus memorabilia inserts, and 9 autograph inserts to collect. Printing plates return, 1 per box. No one really cares about the printing plate. But here are some of the cards. Bring this up. There's Pedri, Lukaku, Giovanni Reina, Depay, Ochoa, Diogo Jota, unfortunately won't be playing in the World Cup. Timothy Weah, Wayne Rooney. Is that Lisandro Martinez? Kai Havertz.
What's this? Is this the NT World Cup set?
Yeah. we'll get to. You've got something very interesting to discuss on this. We'll get to that in about a second. Back onto Cherry. They pulled this Lionel. Is this from that set? No, I don't think it's from that set. No. Oops, wrong one. This is from that set.
Yep. Very nice.
That's nice.
It's on card, right?
That is on card, Source. He has to put a
Good.
Sue on the card. Don't you reckon? He has to order it and then put Sue on the card. It'd be freaking sick. Anyway, so that's some of the cards there for NT World Cup. I know Castro, the streamer. Castro.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got his Castro
FIFA.
Collects page, and he pulled a Neymar jersey or patch. Very nice card, actually. I think it was numbered 25, I think. So that was pretty sick. So anyway, you've got something to discuss regarding this. It's not an attack on the product. It's just a general information session for people that listen to this podcast once again, as you like to bring up some of these topics. So go for it.
Yeah. So I seen this in a Facebook group today. So I wanted to bring it up and just let people know, like, this is the reality of what happens. I think there was a few people that commented on this and was like, oh, this is why I don't, can't collect anymore. And you get the same sort of comments and you get people also being condescending, saying, "Oh, what are you, new to cards? This is how it works, right?" But here it is. It's someone saying, "I will not be getting any NT for release for tomorrow. Way overpriced. Hopefully it comes way down, as I like the product. Wholesale cost is $825 a box. This is USD, ladies and gentlemen, and it's currently retailing for $4K a box." So, here's a little sell sheet that, gets sent out to suppliers. It clearly says they're 825, 50 per box. If you're buying a case, if you're just buying one box, it's 867.50. And they're, selling them to their customer after they get it from the distributor for $4K. It's a buyers beware, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this is no dig at the whole process. This is how it works, the whole process. But it's just the reality that you need to understand that if you're entering into a break or going to buy a box of this, it's very, very, very high risk. Very high risk. When you consider that, if some of the cards out of this set, some of the Ronaldo autos and Messi autos, Mbappe, the better players out of this set, if they're not going for 4K or more, I mean, it's not. I mean, they have to be going for a considerable amount more to even for it to be worth it. Because if you're just breaking even because you're pulling a Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, I'm trying to think of another player that we can put into that category. If you're pulling them, maybe Neymar. If you're pulling those guys and you're barely making back the cost of the box, I mean, it doesn't bode well. I hope that the product comes down. And if you check out this article. I'll chuck it in the comments. I'll bring it up here. Soccer Cards HQ wrote a little article about the product. He did mention that the photo version of the product sold out from Panini direct from their site for $26.50 a box. And then now the hobby boxes are selling for 4K, or support, hobby shops and people who got allocation are selling for 4K. I'll put the article in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. It just goes on to talk about, why he won't be, he talks about the product and what it is. Then he gives you a bit of information about it. And then he also gives his review as to why he doesn't think it's a current buy at its current price. And he does mention here that he's seen big breakers selling a case spot for just Mbappe. So a case, there's 4 boxes, Doma. So for a case, just selling the Mbappe spot for $1,800. Just the Mbappe spot, not France. Mbappe. So just to
That's
pull an
embarrassing.
Mbappe card.
That's embarrassing.
We've spoken about that shit before. People, people that sort of do that. We've seen it with people, selling Jude Bellingham as and Makoko and all that in their rookie year as their standalone player, and then they would sell Dortmund, as a team. It's pretty shit if you don't ask me. If you ask me, and read the article. It's a good little rundown. And at the current price, it's probably not worth it. It's also another information and more information for you guys out there just to understand that suppliers are selling these boxes at around 1,200, as 1,200 Australian a box, and you're then paying about 6K or 5.5K to 6K Australian a box. So it's very, very high risk. It's probably not even worth it. It's probably better to just let someone else open the box at stupid price and you just buy the single or buy the card that you want. You're probably going to save yourself the heartache and the chase in the end. By all means, if you got the money to blow, then break some boxes. But we're in this situation as to why stuff continually stays high, even though more and more is getting printed, because we've got people still buying into box price, box breaks at the prices that they're at. So I hope the product comes down for people that really want to collect the product. I will have a look at some cards, but I'll be sticking to singles. And I think that's the best way, ladies and gentlemen. Stick to singles. You get the cards you want. And I went in a break the other day with our boy Refreshed Cards, Noah, Optimum break, the new AFL Optimum. I got the Swans in a 2-box break. And Doma, you want to know how many cards I got? A big fat donut, mate. I got 0 cards, $50 down the drain, and I got 0 cards for my $50. All right.
Well, in about, I'm gonna put that there, Source, 50 smackaroos, because in probably 5 minutes' time when we get onto it, we're gonna finish off the show by having a look at what Saucy's been looking at recently on eBay, because how cheap slabs have been going for, and let's see how much that $50 potentially could have bought you, or you could have put it towards something. So we'll have a look at that very, very shortly. Next one up, Source. It's finally pulled. The Mbappe Superfractor. So a bit of context on this. Slab Stocks, once again, doing great work with the graphics. His 2018 Prism World Cup Gold to 10 in a PSA 10 sold for $216,000 in August. And the question here was, how much do you think this card will go for? It's a on-card auto Superfractor 101. The box was worth $12K. So we saw some of the 10s or to 5s. What was it, Source, going for around about 30 grand or 25 grand? We had a look at those. They were in the golden auction a while back. But your thoughts on how much this card goes for? A good comment here. Everyone's G'ing up about it. They're like, all sports cards. One of the good friends of this show said, imagine how much the gold Prism will be worth if he wins the World Cup again. People asking questions. But then there's an interesting comment by Clud_2. He said, Mbappe stocks down. And as I mentioned before, Source, he got booed walking into the Ballon d'Or. A lot of people don't like this guy.
He's not doing any favors to win himself more collectors in the card hobby. And we've seen this before. You can be so great, but if you're not likable, people don't want to collect you.
That's exactly right. The interesting thing, Source, is it's the perception. Well, not the perception. It's the way that he's been built up as a player, young player of the tournament at the World Cup in 2018, wins the World Cup in 2018. And ever since then, Source, he's come across as a bit of a diva. So demanding of his football club, demanding of everyone around him. Obviously, stories of him not having great relationships with people within the football club. It's not good. And this actually makes people's minds up. It makes people's minds up for them when you do a disservice to yourself in the public eye. So I love him. He's a great footballer. But even I must admit, he carries on like a pork chop sauce, an absolute nutter. He really does. He just carries on. There's always a story. Oh, yep, complain about the penalty kicks. Gets into a fight in the change room with Neymar. They were throwing shit at each other. Next minute, they're best buddies. 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, he wants to leave the football club after signing a deal worth $1 gazillion and owning PSG. You know, it's just it's like he loves drama. It's like he grew up watching Bold and the Beautiful and said, I'm going to turn my footballing career into Bold and the Beautiful. He must love Ridge.
It's a bit like that, isn't it? It's a bit like that. Everywhere you turn, there's drama with him. But I mean, that's an amazing card, and you know, congratulations to the person who pulled that. Also, honorable mention to Anthony from Soccer Cards Australia.
Yes.
Obviously, cracked open a box and pulled it to 10 Mbappe PSG auto. So he was very, very stoked about that. And as you should be, you know, pulling number to 10 Mbappe auto on card, if you don't mind. But we'll see. You know, and we'll see how it pans out. It'll be interesting to see how this whole PSG Mbappe Topps Chrome auto will pan out over the long run. You know, I'm talking over the long run. I'm talking over the next 5 to 10 years, 15 years, potentially, where these autos sit in terms of price value and you know, do they remain their value and their want? You know, everyone's saying, you know, even me included, thinking, well, he's never signed before, so these are technically his rookie autographs, right? But the thing is, in the hobby, I mean, unless it has that, you know, that RC, are people really going to perceive it as his rookie autograph?
But it's not even that sort. It's not even that. It's not even that, in my opinion, because his Panini cards won't have an RC on them, and he's got autos now after signing that deal with Panini. So do people just completely disregard the fact that there's autos for Topps because Panini's the more popular brand out of the two? You know, and he's going to have World Cup cards, Source, potentially going to have World Cup Prism cards with autos on them.
A lot of the comments that I always see about these is, you know, and there was one who, you know, posted a comment on Anthony's, you know, when his number 10 was said, you know, these aren't going to hold the same value when Panini's, you know, making a shit ton of Mbappe autos, and there's heaps of Mbappe autos on the market. You know, these are so sought after because these are the only autos you can get of him at the moment.
Well, the interesting one was the same thing happened with Charles Barkley. I don't know if you know the story about that, Source. He didn't sign he had no autos, and then Panini signed him. And when his first products came out with his autos, like whether it was in a Philly jersey or a Phoenix jersey, not Houston one, that was not his greatest times, but they sold for a mint. But then, as Panini does with every player that they have on their checklist, they mass produce Charles Barkley autos, and they're worth a fraction of what they were when they were first released. And the same thing could happen with Mbappe. Who knows how many sticker sales he's going to sign, Source, on top of the on-cards.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think, you know, I think that, you know, they're going to be so savvy with this. You're going to understand, like, he's probably such a selling point for people to put him in a product. They're going to make him sign, like, shit ton of stickers. You're going to get, like, some, you know, the Shonky Chronicles product that, you know, once was good is now just, you know, now getting down the pecking order. They're going to chuck some of his sticker autos in there, and, you know, bang, you've got you got people chasing that set. They'll probably make some other set, chuck some sticker autos on there, and, you know, you've got another soccer set. They're going to milk it for as much as they can. I mean, they've got the license for another 3 years. So, you know, I think they're going to try and get as much as they can out of it, and there's going to be a lot of Mbappe autos coming out. Look, for those people that have invested the money in it, like, I'm sitting here saying I don't want to see, you know, that card not be as valuable as
I'm the same. I'm the same.
Whatever.
But
like, I don't want to see you lose money, but it's just a discussion that always comes up on forums, and I think it's a fair discussion that needs to be had. Like, you know, it's a true possibility that once the market gets flooded with Mbappe orders, people aren't going to give a shit that that's his first official order. I don't think people are going to care that much. I don't think people are going to pay that much of a premium for it. I really don't, Doma. I really don't. I thought at the beginning, because I didn't, at that point when the set was released, we did not know that Panini was going to sign Mbappe.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Well, that's the thing that G'd everyone up, and these boxes are selling for 12,000 US.
I don't think they're worth that 12,000 anymore.
No, well, they're not, Source, because they're selling for this
or
premium
18,000 on the secondary. It's
Well, 18.
12,000 was from at the beginning.
Yeah, but like you said, Source, the basis of the box being worth what it was worth was the fact that it was his first auto, and we're like, there's been no autos anymore. Panini didn't even exist in this equation. And then what was it, like 3 weeks after they announced it, or a month after they announced it, they announced that he had signed with Panini on a memorabilia, cards, and appearance deal. Like, that hurts the product. All of a sudden, you're thinking to yourself, well, the product, people are buying it on the secondary and they're not going to drop their prices because it is what it is. That's set the market. But really, it's not worth that now because we know that there's going to be a gazillion more Mbappe autos. That's just the discussion point. They should be worth something because, he is a great player and he's going to go down as one of the best to play, hopefully, unless he ruins himself by doing stupid shit. But, yeah, anyway, time will tell, Source, but we'll see how many. I'll be keen. When his first cards drop in a Panini product, I'll be keen to read and calculate the print run. If he's going to have a 99 to 99 auto to 25 auto, and we'll accumulate all the autos together, Source, in a big number, and then we can turn around like they do with Mac Jones with his 60 101s or however many he's got in NFL products, and we can say, well, we've gone from 99.
Got 67 shields.
Shields. And he hasn't even played 67 games. How does that make any fucking sense? Anyway, that's Panini for you. Let's move on. Let's get through this one quickly. So, Beckett, Source, I'll bring this one up. Just announced that they are removing 9 or below auto grades on their cards. So, as you can see over here, this is a 9.5 with a 9 auto. They will now appear like this, 9.5.
Yeah, so if it doesn't get a 10 on the auto, they're not going to put the little auto grade in the card. So, look, I get it. To find out what the auto still gets graded, Doma, it just doesn't go on the card, or it doesn't get encased in the label section. It actually is registered to the code on the Beckett website. So next step for Beckett is to actually update your website, make your website a lot more user-friendly, and actually create an app so that people can look up these numbers quickly. I mean, you don't have a QR code on the back, so there's probably another thing you could do. Start putting a QR code so people can scan it in your app and look up the card quicker, much like PSA. Credit to them. They've got it working well, and you don't have to look very far on what to do, Beckett. Just copy PSA and, rebrand the app. That's how you should have it working. But yeah, look, I don't mind it. I think it does probably look better. The 9 auto grade in there isn't appealing. I'm not going to lie, when I see a 9 auto grade and it's graded 9.5, people want that premium, but at the same time it's an auto grade. It's a 9 auto. So I think it's going to be good because it's going to help sellers, but it's also unknowing buyers. And maybe people that are newer into the hobby are probably going to get duped a little bit, but it is what it is. It is what it is. That's the decision they've made. I mean, it's good that they're at least doing something. We still haven't heard anything after their failed rebrand at the National. We haven't heard anything. What's going on with that?
Failed rebrand? Have a look. There's the B source right there. Beckett. There's their B.
Oh.
This is from Card Hops.
That is from Card
It's
Hops.
Not exactly from.
But if you do go on their thing on their
That's what
Instagram, that does have that same logo.
All right, Source. Let's move on. That was pretty much it. I'm going to throw to you. I'll give it a plug. There's a vintage and modern toy fair this Sunday at Malvern. So where the Malvern Town Hall, where the Melbourne Card Fair is held at Melbourne Town Hall, they've got a vintage and modern toy fair. I thought I'd throw it out there. People collect all sorts of things. You never know. There could be someone that might have cards there. I know it says toys. I think it's toys and collectibles. So I should rephrase that. I'm going to head down because someone I know has a stall there. So I'm just going to pop in, say hello, and then be on my merry way. But Saucy, over to you to finish off the show, just to have a look at what you've recently been looking at on eBay. And I'm going to try and calculate here with your $50 what you can purchase. Might not be able to purchase anything with the cards you're looking at.
No.
You only buy 5-figure cards.
Oh, according to Rick, apparently. All right, I'll bring it up, Doma. So here's just a few, stuff that I've seen been ending on eBay. If you have a look here, here's a Kawhi Leonard CSG Brilliance rookie graded 9.5, only sold for 21 US. So there you go. I could have picked myself up a Kawhi rookie if I wanted. Big Zion in a CSG 10 doing a dunk. In the Luminance card. I understand it's only a base, but $20.50. Collecting on a budget is back. You got to remember, these cards were, well up over around $80, $100. If you're CSG, it doesn't matter if it's CSG 10, it was still going, Zion for $60-$70. So that's down. You got Ja Morant rookie card, $20.50 CSG 10. You got Luka the Don number to $2.99 out of Select Concourse light blue, so color match with his jersey. 2019 Panini Select Concourse light blue number to $2.99 in a CSG 9.5 is 43. This one makes me laugh, but he's rookie NBA hoops Luka the Don CSG 10. The base card is still going for $70, so that's amazing. This was one that I'm actually annoyed that I didn't bid on, Doma. This card here, my boy Patty Williams, CSG 10 in the die cut. So anyone who knows die cuts, they're very fucking hard to get that good of a grade. And got a 10, only went for $20.50. And Doma, the last solds on the raw card were $11. So I just got a premium 10 graded quality card for an extra $9. That's unreal. So I'm telling you, collecting on a budget is back, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go, a Topps Allen Iverson CSG 10. And why am I bringing up CSG? Because, people are going to send these cards to CSG now because it makes sense because they have a bulk grading for $8 or whatever it is. So these lower end cards are going to go there. It makes sense to send them there instead of sending it to PSA for $25 because there's not much return you're going to get on it. I think they got it, $7. So some of these don't even make sense. Like this Cade Cunningham makes no sense for him to send that base Cade Cunningham NBA hoops because it got a 9.5, but it only sold for $9.50. And so after eBay fees and everything, this guy's probably not even making anything off it. And plus, Shilstein has to take his fee off that. On top of that, you got Anthony Edwards. This is just the select. I'm saying collecting on a budget is back because you got to remember when these cards were getting graded before and slabbed up. Getting, whether these were 9.5s, say BGS at the time or PSA, if this card got a PSA 9, it still would have sold for $40-$50. Now in a 9.5, it's selling for $14.50. That card raw is probably like, $2 card, $3 card. So, the seller's making a little bit of money on it, but, not as much as, they were before. Here you got Tyler Hero and Mosaic Silver, CSG 10, $16.25. And a couple of Anthony Edwards. These are just base Donruss, but it was collecting on a budget. As you can see, Doma, if I wanted to, I could, get myself some CSG 10 and Edwards Donruss. I could pick up also a Tyler Hero, Mosaic Silver, CSG 10. So all of those. And then here was some Zion ones that I was watching. Also, Roger Federer. This is a Roger Federer rookie card. PSA 9 sold for $15.50. This is one of his 2003 cards out of 2003. So there it is there on the Net Pro Elite Series. Only went for $15.50. I thought everyone, when a guy retires, all his cards go up. I think all that innuendo and stuff that people say, this documentary is going to make you cut. And look, I'll say it out there, like I thought that was part of the
during the pandemic, yes.
During the scamdemic, it was during those times it was, but now it's not It's not like that. And it's good because it means you can collect on a budget, Doma. You can get some graded cards. SGA, you're an SGA fan. You don't have any SGA cards. Good way to start. Find some cool SGA cards. Look up them graded. Here's a studio. Our mate Jay, studio collector, loves this set. And here it is here. SGA in the CSG 10, sorry. Very nice card. Rookie card. There's plenty to collect out there. I was going to bid on this one, Doma, because I wanted to get it as a coaster. If you can see who it is.
Oh.
I want Miles Bridges, Donruss Optic Choice, 9.5 CSG. I want to get it as a new coaster, add to the coaster edition. I did also have in my watch list, as you can see here, I forgot to bid on it. It was a PSA 9 Oleski Poskizevsky. I wanted to add it to my
I've got to see if there's
coaster list, coaster collection. Hey, I'm telling you, mate, that's gonna be my coasters, mate. When I get my home, I'm just gonna have PSA CSG slabs of absolute duds. I'm gonna say all that guys' cards are good for is resting it on a coaster, mate. That's all. That's resting your cup on
mate,
it.
I've got to start buying some Mason Greenwood. Get some of his.
You've already got one, mate. You've already got one. Here you go. There's the Aljamain Sterling that I said went for $8, Doma. You know, as I said, collecting on a budget is back, ladies and gentlemen. This guy here is the champion in the bantamweight division, and he's base order out of Select for this year went for $8 on auction. So, as you've seen, a whole bunch of cheapo stuff. Obviously, buying autos and all that is more expensive. But then once again, you've seen that Patrick Williams CSG 10 Select die cut, which isn't an easy card to grade to 10, only sold for $20. There is no way, go back into 2021, 2020. There's no way the new, an upcoming rookie like that in a 10 grade die cut number to 249 is selling for $20. No way. So it's good to see. My Volkanovski collection's coming along. I'll keep adding pieces, and maybe in a few months' time, I'll get some pictures together. I've got a lot of stuff over at Ship My Cards, but it's been fun. It's been fun to collect, Doma. It's been fun to collect. I've really been enjoying it. Obviously, enter very minimal breaks, as you heard before. I entered one break. It's probably the first break I've entered in 3 months. And $50 down the drain. I could have picked up this Aljamain Sterling auto, a few other cards there that you see.
Bought another Volkanovski, mate.
I could have bought a Volkanovski auto with it. Don't believe it or not, some of his lower sticker autos don't go for much more than $50.
There you go. So there's heaps of bargains out there. So definitely jump into eBay, type in your search, whatever you like, put it whichever grading company at the end of it, and have a look. There might be a player in a slab going for Barkley's, mate, for peanuts. So check it out and enjoy the hobby on a budget. So we're back down, Source, which is fantastic. On that note, we are done and dusted for episode 120. So thanks for tuning in once again. Thanks for your constant support. We really do appreciate it. Keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Source. It's double coverage. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double coverage.